Hey guys, welcome back to some more F1 2017 and part 10 of season 2 of our Red Bull career mode, and today we have the British Grand Prix, our home Grand Prix of course. And after the last episode, if you haven't seen it, make sure you go and check it out now because I'm about to spoil it. Alright, you've had your time. We won the last Grand Prix, our first win in Formula 1, and now we have to try and replicate that. We've got a good amount of resource points, 1,079, but I have got my eyes on this major upgrade, which is here, but it's 1,350. I think if we can get through practice 1 and get all of the sort of rewards from that, and also maybe in qualifying we'll get some rewards from that, then we'll work towards getting the intercooler, and hopefully we'll have a much better engine in 4 weeks time, which isn't too far away. It should be possibly in place for Belgium, if not Italy, which is really starting to close in. The season is certainly getting right into the meat of it now, and if we keep winning races, we're going to get right back into that championship battle, because we've got to remember that other teams will be getting penalties very soon. So we've got to keep pushing, got to keep trying getting results, and that starts right now with the British Grand Prix. I'm going to hand over to Anthony Davidson and David Croft to take you through it.
Far from the truth. Anthony Davidson, could be a wet one today. Great to have you with us. What are your thoughts?
It is a touch damp, isn't it? Well, as a driver, there are 3 big things to worry about when racing in these kind of conditions: standing water, tyre temperature and visibility. Judging distance to the cars around you is really tricky when you're driving through the vast amounts of spray that these wet weather Pirelli tyres kick up.
Well then, after an exciting qualifying session yesterday, let's take a look at how the cars line up. It's Red Bull in pole position then, and Kimi Raikkonen completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, Hamilton, Daniel Ricciardo and Bottas, Perez, Massa, Hulkenberg and Roman Grosjean, Alonso, Sainz, Jolyon Palmer and Stroll, Van Dorn, Ocon, Daniel Kvyat and Pascal Wehrlein. Ericsson and Kevin Magnussen rounds off the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
You should have some space going into the first corner, so try to keep it tidy.
Right guys, here we are down on track for our second consecutive pole position. It was wet weather qualifying, and that in the past has suited us. It suited us down to the ground in Malaysia last year. And it really suited us here as well. We just managed to hook it up. You know, conditions were good towards the end of the session. We were the last man to cross the line. We had all of the grip, and it was great. It was a good lap, and we've got a second consecutive pole position now. And since that upgrade, things are looking really good. Daniel Ricciardo in 5th place, so we've managed to put him in his place as well. But a very good result in Canada. We were unlucky in the Baku Grand Prix to not finish on the podium, so you know, I think it's got to be said that we're getting the results lately, and I think we just had a bit of a difficult start of the season. I'm just trying to get round this racetrack as quickly as I can, but nobody else seems to want to. Although here comes Kimi Raikkonen. This corner here is absolutely brilliant to drive in the dry, flat out, and then through maggots and beckets. You know what? We're just going to leave them to it. I'm going to leave them to it. We're going to find where the grip is on this first sort of exploration of the circuit. There seems to be a lot less grip than there was in qualifying, which is weird because we're in intermediate conditions now rather than full wet, which we were in quali. But we could be on for 2 consecutive victories, and that would really be a turn of form, considering it took us 7 Grand Prix to get our first podium for Red Bull. But it certainly is going to be difficult to hold off the Ferraris today. We've got to get off to a good start off the line and get into that first turn in the lead, otherwise it's going to be incredibly difficult to get past in the wet weather. But here we go, lining up for pole position, and I'll see you guys when it's ready for lights out. Here we are, ready for the lights then for our British Grand Prix. Lights out, away we go. It's a bit of a slow start. Kimi Raikkonen surely got off the line a bit better, and he did. And so is Sebastian Vettel and Lewis Hamilton. We're down to 4th, but wheel-to-wheel contact between Vettel and Hamilton means that we try and have a look down the inside of Kimi Raikkonen, back for the lead of the Grand Prix, and we're through. We're through, we've managed to do it. Vettel's through on Raikkonen as well, so I can only assume he went a little wide. But there was yellow flags at turn 1. I don't exactly know what that was for. But the main thing is we're through. We're back into the lead. We were down to 4th on the first turn, but here comes Sebastian Vettel. He's having a look as well round the outside, trying to get the grip. We're obviously the ones discovering this for the first time, so Vettel will be kind of following our lead and hoping to stick with us here as we settle into this Grand Prix. But the main thing is we got the lead back, and that was so important, as I said, during the formation lap, to get out in front of everybody else, because it is going to be difficult to overtake people around here. I think we found that out last year when Kimi Raikkonen was following us around here, and we finished 4th, I believe, in the wet weather conditions, and we managed to stay in front because it was wet. That was the reason, really. No DRS, of course, and we have a big wide car to just place on the apex of corners, but we seem to be getting into our rhythm now, and we're going to see if we can win our 2nd consecutive Grand Prix, and we're better than at home here in Britain.
Been to ease up in around 5 minutes. 5 minutes till low rain.
Well, we're going to ease off in about 5 minutes, which is good for us. We're managing to keep a consistent gap to Vettel behind. We were increasing it, but we've had a bit of a scrappy lap, which means that he's caught up just a little bit, but it's been consistently about 0.6 of a second. But I think if we just use rich mix this lap, we can get out of that second window and hopefully just concentrate on our own race. Lewis Hamilton has got a problem, so he's dropping back a little bit, which is another contender out of the race, which is good for us, I guess. Obviously not good for the British fans. It would have been nice to maybe see Lewis on the podium with us. But Daniel Ricciardo up to 4th by the looks of things, but the Ferraris are keeping me very much honest. We have got yellow flags. I don't really know what that's for. Maybe that's Lewis Hamilton. Maybe he's got a puncture or something. That would be really sad if he does. But we do seem to be pulling out the slightest of gaps to the Ferraris behind. And the rain is easing off every lap, so conditions should get better. It's just a matter of whether we can keep these tyres in the optimal windows and extract all the grip from them. I will stay with this until we find out who that car is going through Stowe Corner now. We should catch up to them, but that was a much better middle sector, and you can see how much we've pulled out over the cars behind, and hopefully I'm assuming it is Hamilton. Yep, it is Lewis, but he doesn't hold up anybody behind because he just about managed to make it to the pits before we got through. But we've lapped Lewis Hamilton, which is something I didn't expect to say, and we're certainly setting the fastest lap of the race. Conditions are getting better and we're getting faster.
Okay, some information on Raikkonen. They have some kind of mechanical problem.
Well then guys, Raikkonen's got a problem. So it's pretty good for us. We're absolutely dominating. We're over halfway through the Grand Prix now, and we're just going through the motions and maybe trying to set another fastest lap. That's all we're really in it for now. Looks like the win is virtually guaranteed, barring any
There's about 10 more minutes of this rain.
That's not going to affect us, I don't think. I think we're going to be finished before the rain stops, which is a shame. I would have liked to have had a little bit of dry running, a little bit of variability in there, but no, it really does look like we're going to make this our second consecutive pole and victory, barring any mechanical issues or big mistakes. So yeah, things are looking good. There we go, another fastest lap. That was really good. We've got yellow flags. That's Bottas out of the race, and he's championship leader, so
2 seconds.
that is a huge change of this Grand Prix. The Ferraris will be taking the lead of the championship. Vettel probably. At this stage, I don't know who's closer, him or Raikkonen. But that helps us out as well, because it means that we're going to make some big points up in the championship, and all of a sudden things are starting to fall into place for us, and you know, our victories are going to be like London buses. You wait 27 races or whatever it was for one, and then 2 come along at once. There you go. After the podium streak we had in the second half of last season as well, I'll tell you what, we're in very, very good position to make a big push for this title. Well guys, we're on the final lap of the race. Ricciardo's made his way into 3rd place, which is really, really good. It means we're going to have a double podium today for the Red Bull boys, which you wouldn't necessarily expect on a track like this. A lot of straight line speed is needed, and you know, I think it just shows how much more pace we have in the wet weather compared to some other tracks. Compared to dry weather conditions is what I was trying to say. We've got Hungary coming up next, which is one of our stronger places. You need a good amount of downforce there, and I think we'll do well around there as well. So we've won 2 very, very unlikely Grand Prix really for our chassis, but it shows how much progress we're making in terms of the power unit. The rain has just about stopped as we're going to come over the line. We might well finish with a fastest lap as well, which would just top off what a fantastic drive this has been for us. As I said, the important part of it was making that move back past Kimi Raikkonen on that first lap and getting back into the lead of the Grand Prix. But we come round the final couple of corners, and we're going to win our home Grand Prix here in Britain.
That's P1. Race win. Well done.
So here come our winning drivers today, and what a race it was. There's been a big push at the factory lately to get these cars ready, and we can see the fruits of that labour today as Red Bull lift the winner's trophy. And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. Sebastian Vettel takes over the lead of the Drivers' Championship after that excellent result. Now then, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?
Difficult call, but I'd like to say Esteban Ocon. He's just so gifted at getting the most out of his tyres, and he showed that today.
On to the constructors then. Ferrari moved to the top of the table. There'll be plenty more twists and turns to come this season. I hope you can join us at the next race to see just who will come out on top.
Well guys, there we have it. We win the Grand Prix by 6 and a bit seconds in the end to Sebastian Vettel, who finished 2nd. Daniel Ricciardo finished in 3rd with Kimi Raikkonen a distant 4th. A disappointing day for him, obviously marred by the mechanical issues. Sergio Perez finishes an impressive 5th for Force India with Felipe Massa 6th. Hulkenberg in 7th for Renault. Sainz 8th. Ocon 9th, and Fernando Alonso getting a surprise point for McLaren. Looking outside of the points then, you've got the likes of Lewis Hamilton, who was a lap down. Grosjean had a couple of penalties in there as well. And Valtteri Bottas, who didn't finish. So a terrible day for the Mercedes team, who will be very, very disappointed. As we look at the standings, Vettel takes over the lead, 9 points ahead of Valtteri Bottas. Kimi Räikkönen, 11 points back in third place. And Lewis Hamilton down to fourth, 17 points adrift at the title. We are in fifth, 60 points behind, so just over 2 race victories away from them. So if we can win more and more Grand Prix this season, we've already broke the 100-point mark. And it's certainly going to help us out, those 2 victories in a row. But if we can keep doing it, keep getting strong performances, we can get right back into this, and especially as they start having mechanical failures towards the end of the season. If you've enjoyed that, make sure you leave a like down below. It really does mean a lot for me and for the channel, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye. Well guys, here we are after the event, and I can see that we're about to speak to our agent. What is going to happen here? Let's find out. We've got a contract event.
Quick question. How are you here? Are you happy? I mean, obviously, I hope so, but you do have some other options if you're up for a new challenge. Let me just grab the door. I had a call from another team a few weeks ago, and, well, things have moved on since then. These are the offers I've managed to put together for you. You don't have to do anything with them, but let me know what you think.
Well then, guys. After all that, we've only got offers from the bottom 2 teams. That is pathetic. That is absolutely pathetic. But no, goodness me. We're staying as Red Bull driver, unsurprisingly. If it was maybe Mercedes or Ferrari offering there, then we would have had to consider that, and that would have gave us a big chance of winning the championship, obviously. But as it happens, that's the way it's gone, so we'll just have to deal with that. That's absolutely hilarious. If you've enjoyed this, make sure you leave a like down below. It honestly does mean the world to me. Really does help out the channel as well. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye. Take 2, cut.